Hello, everybody. This is Reels, podcast about everything TV and movies. My God,
Yeah.
I wanted to go video games again. I'm Derek. This is my brother Dakota. Today we will be talking about found footage movie called Willow Creek, Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, and the main movie this week is Blue Beetle.
Yep.
So for our movie thought, we're going to talk about what we talked about last week. We started this thinking about what the best third act possible is, or if there's anything specifically better than Scream.
Yes, because Scream is a standout, amazing third act.
Yeah. I have some movies. So the first one that I thought of was Sunshine. So the third act would be when the genre flips, I feel like, in that movie. And it's just out of nowhere, first of all. And the rest of the movie, we've talked about how horror movies sometimes can just be all third act, it feels like. Because that movie takes an hour to genre flip into horror, that rest of that is just third act, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is awesome. It's bonkers.
Yeah. It is insane, and you can't even I struggle to even think of a movie even kind of like it.
No.
Event Horizon's kind of like it.
Yeah,
not
it's
really.
Kind of like it.
Pandorum, a little bit, but
both of those, you can see the horror coming.
They're horror the whole time.
Yeah. And Sunshine it's like hard sci-fi, and then all of a sudden it's fucking horror.
Yeah.
And
it's not like, oh yeah, a little bit of horror. No, it's straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up horror.
Yeah, horror. And then at the very end, we get a poignant scene that's ties back into the sci-fi.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. It's Danny Boyle's best movie.
Oh, for sure.
My favorite one, at least.
So I don't think it's as good as Scream, but it's an honorable mention.
Yeah, yeah.
How many did you have?
I only have two.
Okay.
One of them I don't think is as good, but I was like, it's probably the best part of the movie, and that's The Shining.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
It is the best part of that movie.
Yeah, and it's a nice build-up when he's just chasing him in the maze and everything, and then when he backtracks his footsteps, and then it's just the whole Jack going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that is good. It's not as good as Scream, but that is a good one.
Yeah, I thought it should be mentioned because it is.
Yeah, because prior to that, it's all build up.
All build up.
Yeah. I have The Revenant on here, and I would say that is
it like a fist fight at the end?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that the third act is when he gets there and dude realizes that he's there, and then they go and chase, and it is a brutal fight, the rest of the movie.
I've only seen that movie one time.
I've seen it twice. It's not as good as Scream, but it's good enough that I wanted to at least mention it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I had Titanic on there. Because it's
the third act is just after the iceberg.
Yeah, it literally
long.
is. It is.
Yeah.
Half the movie is the third act, and it's just the exciting part. Mm-hmm. And it's good.
It is good. And it's man, there's so many memorable scenes in that. The axe with the handcuffs and the musicians playing.
It's very sad. Yeah, it's just
with the tipping and the guy jumped off and hits the propeller.
Yeah, it's just all the genres you get in that third act.
Yeah, the literal end when they're going through and she's trying to get enough energy to blow the whistle. It's just, man, it's good.
Yeah,
that is a good one.
Wrong Turn, because horror movies just tend to work.
Yeah,
but I feel like the third act is after when it just gets down to them two. Right when she gets hit in the throat. Or in the mouth with the axe. I feel like the rest of that is the third act.
But it's just the dude and Eliza Dushku?
Yeah. And it's pretty exciting. It gets it ramps up right there.
Yeah, Wrong Turn, is
the old one, not the new one.
Yeah. Is a standout, is a pretty standout good motherfucking movie.
It is
for a B slasher horror movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
Yeah, there's a reason it spawned so many sequels.
And then I'm gonna save yours for last because you say it's better than Scream.
I'm not gonna outright say it's better, but I say it has the potential to be.
My last one is 2001.
Okay.
Because the first act is the monkeys and going to the moon.
Uh-huh.
The second act is going to Jupiter. So the third act would be right when all the psychedelics hit, and then we're in the room, and then the end. And like that is
in the room, and then
it
the
is
baby.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like I can't like that one potentially is better than Scream.
I don't think people would agree with that though, because everyone else thinks the
howl part is the best. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't agree.
That's what everyone talks about all the time. And honestly, my favorite part of 2001 is the moon segment. Really, like that's like I don't know why. I think it's just the shots. It's my most memorable shots when they just like they have this whole base around the monolith. They're like he's so super wide, and you just see him walking down the trail or like standing up on the hill looking down at it and stuff. I'm like,
it's crazy. My least favorite. So there's 4 segments essentially in that movie. The first 2 are the first act. That's why it still works as 3 acts. The house section is my least favorite.
Yeah.
Like I really like the opening section.
Yeah.
And I really like the end. But it's probably not better than Scream. It's just more thoughtful. Like you just leave and you're like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So what is yours? I'm excited.
The Matrix.
Okay.
Saving Morpheus is the third act. And just remember, like...
That is pretty good.
They're gearing up, right? They're gearing up, and then the moment they walk into the bank or whatever it is, and then they freaking reveal their coats, and you're just in for a wild ride the rest of the time.
Yeah, it's that, and then it's the helicopter, it's the bullet dodging.
Yep.
And then they get him out, and that's when Neo and Smith fight in the subway too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Is good. That is good. One. That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's the first time I think that's the first I think I saw a video on this. It was the first time in a movie they shown, it's obviously a more exaggerated version, but when an explosion happens, the shockwave on the glass that ripples, it's way exaggerated because it's in the Matrix, but it's the first time they had to at least CG glass like that.
That is good. That one's close.
Yeah.
That one's close.
I know.
I like that.
Yeah, because it's just bonkers, balls to the walls the rest of the time. And like it's not bad, like there's no bad part to it. It's just all like we don't get action like that anymore ever.
No.
You have the bank scene, you have the Morpheus and the helicopter scene, and then like Morpheus breaking out of his restraints or whatever is just so epic for no reason. It is. And then
it's the eye roll.
But then oh yeah, I forgot about that. Then the subway scene is just pinnacle fighting. We just answered a question I've been trying to figure out for weeks.
What?
I was like, there's a movie where a guy goes for a punch and the other one punches him, like punches his punch, and his hand like breaks. Isn't that in the Matrix? Doesn't Agent Smith go for a punch and he goes and it breaks his punch goes like.
Yeah, I think so.
I've been trying to figure that out forever, for like 3 weeks.
That is a good one. Yeah. I don't know if it's better, but it's fucking close.
It's staying close.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
I like those kind of movie thoughts where we like it's more like a small topic of just random movie stuff maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen every week, but I do like when that happens.
Yeah. Movie thoughts can be anything.
That's true. So we have quite a bit of news and we have a ton of rumors, and 90% of everything that I'm going to talk about has to do with superheroes. Marvel and DC. Yes, Marvel and DC. Mostly Marvel. For the news, I wanted to talk about the box office a little bit.
Okay.
So the Marvels opened at 40 5.
Yeah.
And it had the second biggest drop of any superhero movie ever, the biggest for a MCU movie at 78%.
78? I thought it was 74.
78%.
Man, that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be shitting themselves over there. And when I read my rumors, you're going to realize that they are shitting themselves.
Okay.
But to go along with that, Wish opened on Wednesday. Today's Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
we don't have official numbers as of our recording.
Yeah. So on Wednesday it made 8.
Which is the day before Thanksgiving.
Or no, I think on Wednesday and Thursday it made 8.
Okay.
It is projected for the 5-day holiday weekend to make 35.
35? Which is terrible.
Yeah.
Considering it's a main, like, this is supposed to be like a Frozen level movie.
Yeah.
And you have the Marvels that just came out with a 3-day weekend hitting 42 or 45.
Yeah.
And you're projected to do 10 mil under that. God, it's so bad. It's just, I don't know if the movie's good or bad. I didn't look at reviews or
I don't know.
I don't know what the consensus is on it, but the trailers are bad. And I remember, because once or twice a year, we always go through all the movies that are releasing in the coming months, and we're like, gonna go to choose which ones we're gonna go to the theaters to see.
Yeah.
And every year, like 4 years ago, if it was a Disney movie, you're going, no matter what.
True.
So like, I have no, like, I don't even think anyone, like, I don't even think people's kids are like, let's go see Wish.
Yeah, this isn't just a political kind of thing that's happening. You know, a lot of people think it's that Disney's too woke or all of that. This is also a quality issue because you're losing people that don't care about the political stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Wish just looked bad
in
the trailers.
They went to that weird... They went to that weird aesthetic that the Spider-Verse movies did.
And I can't stand that.
And then the last Puss in Boots movie did that too.
Yeah.
And I think because all 3 of those movies made a ton of money, they were like, yeah, let's do that. People like that. And I'm just like, I don't know. You shouldn't just let them do their own thing. That'd be like Disney trying to make like a Chicken Run style movie, you know? Just let them. I think
Chicken Run was their movie.
Is it? I thought it was its own company.
Oh no, Chicken Little is their movie. Yeah.
Chicken Run. I got a fun fact about Chicken Run. I just read an article.
Okay.
The Chicken Run gets all of their clay for their movies. So that, there's a ton of like Wallace and Gromit and all that. They have like, it's a stupid amount.
Yeah.
And they have one coming out this year too. And then they also have like 3 more planned. The freaking company that they buy their wax from is gone. And when they announced it, they bought the whole warehouse out. And they were like, we have enough clay to make like a few more movies.
So like, we're running out of clay.
Yeah, like this particular type of clay, they said it's special because you can just mold it with your hands at any time, but it doesn't melt in the lights.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what they're gonna do.
That's funny.
People love those movies.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think that it's pretty. Those movies make money. Those the Spider-Verse and like those kind of animation, but they don't make a ton of money.
I mean, Spider-Man does.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 did.
Yeah.
But I don't think that art style is for everyone. I think like I can't stand it.
It hurts sometimes. You're sitting there watching it. I'm like, man, my eyes hurt.
Yeah, and for a movie that is supposed to celebrate 100 years of Disney, I feel like you have to hand draw this and do it like the originals. Like, it needs to look like,
and just make a normal princess movie.
Yeah,
and make it a love story. Like, who cares about the like, I don't know. It's hard to say. I saw a thing that said that this like the woke community that these companies are trying to abide by is only 3% of the population.
I mean, it can't be very large.
Yeah. And I'm just like, you're ruining your like creative freedom. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it should have looked like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
that's what it should have been.
Yeah, the classics, like Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, all those.
And I'm okay with a maybe not like a super traditional story, but it should have at least looked like that, and it should have been kind of traditional, you know? Like, this does have, I guess, I don't know, is she a princess?
See, no,
the trailers are so bad, I don't even know.
Well, the trailer's like, he's a king.
Yeah.
And then she is like the chosen one to get his wish power.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think she's his kid or anything, but she's like going to be next in line to be in charge to grant all the wishes.
Right.
And that's it. But I heard there's two things. So TikTok's been like, you'll be going through and they've been like comparing like, how did we go from like Frozen, and they play a song from Frozen to a song from Wish, and they're all terrible. But then I saw that people were editing them to make them worse than what they actually are.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's true either.
Yeah.
Because but I'm not gonna not like when Wish comes out, when I can watch it for free, I'm gonna give it a go.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it on Disney Plus down the line.
Yeah. But no, there's zero desire to pay for that.
Yeah.
No way.
The only thing that looks fun is Chris Pine's King character in that movie.
Yeah, no, not even to me. I think it's going to be bad.
I mean, it very well could be.
I do like Chris Pine, but I think they don't get villains as right as they used to. Like, I think about Frozen.
Frozen doesn't have a villain.
The first one does, kind of.
Barely, but yeah.
But like, or just they don't get memorable villains.
Yeah.
Like when you think about old Disney movies, like Scar, Hades, Jafar, they're like as memorable as the main character, and that just is not the case these days.
And they always got a song, and it was usually the best song.
Yeah.
Poor Unfortunate Souls is a fucking banger.
Yeah.
My God. I mean, that is a problem. Why don't they? What's the problem with villains nowadays? Marvel can't do villains.
Yeah.
That's Disney too, I guess. Star Wars can't do villains.
Star Wars brings their villains from the 80s back.
Yeah.
Tries to do it again.
Oh gosh, that's funny. So yeah, I mean, it is a shit show over there. They have to be fucking freaking out.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
The last news that's gonna roll right into the rumors is Scream 7, all the drama.
God, yeah.
So I forget her name. The main Melissa
Barrera, something like that. We probably butchered it, but that's fine.
She tweeted in support of the Palestinians, I believe. Mm-hmm. You know, in that whole mess over there.
Yeah.
So they fired her from Scream 7.
It was fast.
Yeah, like the same day.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Jenna Ortega, it has to drop Scream 7 because of scheduling conflict for Wednesday season 2, which is very fishy. And she has also tweeted about the war. Uh-huh. She just never... She didn't just come right out and pick a side, you know? Mm-hmm. Which I don't think I don't know how people can even pick a side. Because it's just so muddy and it's been happening for years and years and years.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why they're fighting. I heard that the Palestinians want the Israeli people out of their country, but aren't they in Israel?
So I don't want to get deep into it.
Yeah, I just don't know why they're fighting.
After World War II, Britain was in charge of this land. Mm-hmm. And they were going to make 2 separate states, one Palestine, one Israel. And there were rebellions right after that decision. So they just were like, we aren't going to mess with it. You guys figure it out. And the next day, someone that was in charge of the Israelis, the Israelis, yeah, it was just like, it's all Israel. And they've been
kind of in a civil war ever since.
Like, it's crazy.
Mm. So they've probably just been, like, dormant for the last few years, kind of like how the Irish don't care for the England.
During World War II, they sent the Israeli to Palestine.
Oh.
To like as refugees. So.
Oh, they kind of just dumped them there.
Yeah, I mean,
well, where were the Israelis before World War II?
Well, they're all over the place.
Oh,
the Jewish people are just all over the place, but like that is their biblical homeland.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they sent them. But like the Palestinians already had it,
yeah.
So it's muddy.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's muddy.
Yeah.
So,
and it just like, but to be fair, I don't know. What's her name? Michelle Barrera?
Melissa
Barrera. I don't know where she was born or not. I don't know if she's I don't know if she's American or not, but it's not our conflict.
No.
I know people think we should get involved in all that stuff, but you can. I also disagree honestly with her getting fired because you're allowed to have your opinion.
Whatever she said, she shouldn't have been fired.
Yeah. But now Scream 7 is just... I mean, Scream, it's just bad.
Well, see, I'm excited because I love Scream 6 or Scream 5, to be honest. And the rumors are, we're going to roll right into rumors.
Okay.
That they're trying to get Neve Campbell, or Neve Campbell, I don't know necessarily how you pronounce it, and Patrick Dempsey, because he was in Scream 3.
Yeah. Well, really, because he was Sexiest Man Alive for People magazine this year.
So they're trying to get them, and I think they're going to try to twist it into like a different kind of story.
Yeah, which is fine, especially if they bring Matthew Lillard back, which is all the fans want.
It's what the rumors are. They even teased it a little in 6 when they were like, they never found his body. How do they know he's dead? Mm-hmm. Which is crazy. Like, what do you mean you didn't find his body?
Yeah,
he had a TV on his head.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, because then it doesn't make sense for if they bring Matthew Lillard back, it doesn't make sense for him to go after them too.
No, it doesn't at all.
Honestly, he wouldn't go after... She's Billy's daughter. So he would try to recruit her.
Yeah, maybe that's what the whole thing was, is this whole time he's been trying to recruit her. I never liked that storyline. That she's got some inherent killer in her. Like, ugh.
Do you think that if they get Neve back and they get Neve back in Stu, do you think they're gonna kill her, or are they gonna let her win? Like, give her fine. Like, if they let her win, she is like the pinnacle. If not the pinnacle, she is tied with Jamie Lee Curtis as the final girl.
I would do something that no one's ever had the balls to do, and I'd have them kill each other.
Both? Oh, okay.
Like, I would have them both die at the end.
See, we've talked about this prior, and I really love my idea before they got fired and Jenna Ortega didn't go. Was to advertise 7 as just them, but it'd be like the Drew Barrymore of Scream 1. And then you just kill Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera's character in the first 10, 15 minutes, and then Neve comes in, and then it's just her movie the rest of it. It would have been one of the greatest things they've ever done.
It would have been. But that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if we'll even see this movie at this point. Like, I think it may get canceled.
Well, please, they don't gotta pay. They were willing to fork over however much money Jenna Ortega wanted for this movie. They're gonna be able to pay Neve whatever the heck she wants.
Yeah, that's true.
Because ain't no way they weren't paying Jenna Ortega $20 million.
I mean, unless they heard
15, $20 million.
Unless her contract could have been for these movies too.
Oh yeah.
So they might have got that, but because Scream 4 or Scream 5 came out, and then she got big.
Yeah.
So if they had a multi-picture deal, they could have been getting her for the cheap.
That's true.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of excited, just because I didn't like 5 and 6. So
yeah.
Did you see about the Silver Surfer rumors?
No.
So I don't think it's going to be necessarily in Fantastic Four, but because they have the character, it's gonna tie in later in the MCU. Apparently, they're going to make the Silver Surfer female.
guess. I like.
It's a weird thing.
It's sad because Doug Jones did the Silver Surfer in.
Oh, did he?
Yes. Weird. No one knows that. No one knows that. And I just saw a clip. We were talking about Fantastic Four last week, and they're all listening, so I started getting Fantastic Four clips in my TikTok. And like someone was talking about how it slept on how great the initial chase scene is between the Silver Surfer and the Human Torch in Rise of the Silver Surfer. And God, he is so freaking cool. The Silver Surfer is. He's so well done in that movie. And
I don't know a lot about him.
He can do some stuff.
Is he a human originally?
No, he's from a different planet. So, in the Silver Surfer, I think it's Galactica or Galactus or whatever, the planet destroyer or whatever.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's doing his bidding for all these other planets, prepping them for him to eat, so he doesn't eat his planet because that's where his wife and kid is.
Oh, okay. So it's not a big deal if it's a woman.
No, I don't know where the surfboard came from because that's how he gets all of his powers. If he loses the surfboard, it's over. That's like why in Rise of the Silver Surfer, Dr. Doom takes it from him, and then Dr. Doom gets all the power of the surfboard, and he's like ultra super strong. I feel like I don't even know if you've ever seen this movie, but it's freaking awesome.
I have seen it.
It's so cool.
Fantastic Four is so silly.
We will watch them, I promise. Because he's going to realize they're not that bad. But like, I'm okay with it being, because like, it's just, he's not a person. Like you look at Silver Surfer and it's just like he literally looks like a mirror.
Yeah.
So it can be anything under there. So if it's just a female, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. People are mad about it.
Super strong character. I don't know if they're not introducing him in Fantastic Four. I don't know what they're doing.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they are introducing him in Fantastic Four, but
he's a cool one because he teeters. He's like a good person. At least I don't know anything about the comics, but in the movie he's a good person. He's just doing this to save his family. But he's super strong.
This might be why. The next rumor is Kang was so originally the plan was Doctor Doom was going to be the big bad going for this next phase. And then they cast Jonathan Majors as Kang, and they were like, oh, he's good.
Yeah.
And they changed it. So right now the rumor is they're deciding if they're going to go with the original idea and get rid of Kang, or if they're going to keep Kang. And apparently it's all depending on his trial. And they will know by January.
Okay. I mean, I would prefer it to be Dr. Doom.
I think everyone would prefer
just
it to be
because
Dr. Doom.
You haven't seen a movie with Kang in it yet, or Loki.
No.
So he's just not resonating with him at all in anything. It's weird.
I mean, Dr. Doom is like one of the top villains of all time.
He's like top 3 in Marvel history. Probably top 2, honestly.
Yeah, so I just don't think it should be a debate unless they're having issues casting him.
Yeah. It would be hard to cast him. Honestly, well, they can't really do that, but Michael Fassbender would be a good cast for it.
Yeah, that would be good. And now, because Disney is scrambling and changing all of this stuff, this is another just complete rumor. Spider-Man 4 is going to merge with the Spider villains universe.
What?
That's what like this came from Forbes. This is a legit rumor. That Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 is going to merge with Venom and Kraven and Madam Web and Morbius.
Yikes.
Yikes, indeed.
That's bad.
I mean, it'd make those movies watchable if Spider-Man was in them.
I had such a good idea. What they could do. Oh, that's bad, man. That's terrible.
I know.
Because now that they have such a good idea, if they just don't do that. Just don't do that. And because everything's erased now, it's prime time to get Tom Holland's new best friend, Harry Osborn, and get him in there. Because that's what he needs.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never seen any of these movies, these side movies, and I haven't seen Spider-Man 3 either. But it seems like an awful idea. It really, I think having an amazing Spider-Man 3 that tied into these movies would have been better.
Yeah.
Not only does that cast, like everyone that they cast just seem more like Andrew Garfield's villains.
Well, the way they shot the Andrew Garfield movies are the same way they shot these.
Yeah,
ones.
it all feels like the tone
dark.
feels the same. All of the casting feels like it would work with Andrew Garfield. It doesn't feel like it would work with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And like Tom Holland is so Iron Man infused that if you pluck him out of the MCU, he's gonna feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, he's just gonna not. He's not gonna feel like he belongs.
Yeah, at all.
Especially they do like Venom's real grimy and gross and gritty and nasty.
Yeah.
And but those movies are so like those movies are so bad I couldn't even get through Venom 2. Didn't even finish it. It has Woody Harrelson in it.
That is bad.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be better than the first one.
It looked better than the first one.
I know. I didn't even see Carnage do anything.
Yeah, I mean this is a bad idea, but Sony's trying to get away from Disney, which makes sense.
Just cast someone. Just make another Spider. Or instead of doing a Peter Parker Spider-Man, do a Miles Morales. He's literally at an all-time high of popularity with the video games.
Yeah,
so just
true.
do a Miles Morales Spider-Man. Let Marvel have Tom Holland, and do your thing.
Yeah.
God, these people making dumb decisions. It's like I don't know. It's like they live in a bubble and they don't understand what we want.
Well, they don't. All they want is a cinematic universe that makes money, and they think that if they pull Tom Holland over, that Venom 1 and 2 made money.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Morbius didn't make a lot of money, but it had a lot of online chatter, all the memes.
Yeah, it's Morbin dime.
Exactly. So they feel like if Tom Holland Spider-Man's over here, Venom 1 and 2 make $1 billion, and they don't make $800 million, and that Morbius, even though it's a meme, it still makes $400 million.
Yeah.
Morbius
is better than Venom 1 and 2.
Yeah, but like they just think that it's gonna double, or it's gonna push all of them over the edge.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just gonna make Tom Holland Spider-Man a joke, I think.
Yeah. It will like ruin it.
Yeah. And he doesn't have a great career outside of Spider-Man, honestly. Anytime he's in another movie, it fucking bombs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, he did all his better movies before he was Spider-Man, like The Impossible.
Yeah.
Uncharted didn't bomb. Uncharted made money.
Yeah. That's true, but it didn't. It didn't make as
much
money.
But it also had Marky Mark, who never
bombs.
Never bombs.
Yeah. It's crazy how popular he is.
Yeah.
And then the last rumor is the one that's like basically confirmed: Nicholas Hoult, Lex Luthor for Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
I don't hate it. I don't think it was the best option, but if they're going for because you had heard a rumor that they were going for an older Lex Luthor initially.
Yeah.
But if they're going for someone around the same age, I don't know if they could get anyone better than Nicholas Hoult to do this part. Especially, like, just thinking about Nicholas Holt's roles, I feel like he could play the billionaire, like, kind of, Lex Luthor's a weird character. He's so hard to pull off, because he's, like, I don't want to say...
No, like,
man.
No one's ever pulled him off, honestly.
Like animated comic book.
Yeah, no one's ever done that.
Yeah. Animated, they do it in the...
Oh, yeah, the animated show is good.
It's hard to pull off because he's like a dick, but he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so hard to explain.
Yeah, it is.
He's if he's not in the room with Batman, he's the smartest person in the room every time.
Yep.
But he's a douche, but then he's also not a douche, and that's like so impossible to pull off.
Yeah.
Because like they just went full douche with Jesse Eisenberg.
Or they went crazy with Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey. Like, he's just a loon.
And I ain't never seen the guy from Smallville.
Yeah, I guess I can't say that I've never pulled it off because I've never seen it either.
Yeah. Kevin Spacey's I think's played it the best so far. He's like, you can tell he's the smart... You can tell... That's the problem. Kevin Spacey's is that you couldn't tell if he was the smartest person in the room, but
he was. But Lex knows how to not Lex knows how to play a room.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, man, he's so hard. Like, he's difficult, and I don't know if Nicholas Hoult can pull that off. And plus, Lex is supposed to be how do I say this? Like, not menacing, but like you look at him and you're like,
I mean,
supposed to be like a man.
He's like physically imposing.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Mentally imposing. Like he is. He is like peak human.
You feel him in the room.
Yeah,
and like so, that's like you don't have that in Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, so before the writer's strike, when they were breaking it down, the three were Nicholas Hoult and the two Skarsgård brothers,
Bill and Alexander.
Yeah, and I thought
Bill was fun.
I don't love Bill as him, but I feel like Alexander Skarsgård can do it all, and he does have that presence, and he does have that physicality.
He does, but I think that he was probably just too old, and they wanted someone to be close in age with Superman.
Yeah, I mean, and Nicholas Hoult, he does.
And save Alexander Skarsgård for something. Put him in the Green Lantern TV show.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult does look like Lex Luthor when you cut his hair off.
Yeah, we've seen him bald in Mad Max.
Yeah.
I could see him sitting in a leather chair in a big office.
Yeah, I hope that they.
I hope they do make him bald.
They will. I hope they do something with his eyebrows. Give him ginger eyebrows. Because I don't like.
Just leave him black.
I don't.
They're black in the. They're black in the comics. You know.
I like when he's ginger. They are black. It's weird that he's got black eyebrows and ginger hair, even in the comics. Even when he's got long hair.
It's like that's Archie. Archie has red hair with black eyebrows.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's just a
drawing thing. You got to have eyebrows that can emote, and you have to be able to see them. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so I don't love Nicholas Hoult as Lex, but I'm open to it. We have to see what the tone is of this fucking movie, honestly, because it's so up in the air because James Gunn is so weird.
I have like decently high hopes. I think it's not gonna be my favorite Superman movie. I don't think it's not gonna be I don't even think it's gonna be better than Superman Returns.
I love Superman Returns.
But I think it's going to be the same tone as Superman Returns. I think it's gonna be right at that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. It's just like I don't know how to explain that. Colorful.
Which Superman should be colorful.
Yes.
And that's why Man of Steel has so many haters, is because it is anti-Superman. You know, it's like, let's look at Superman if he's real and put him somewhere where the stakes matter.
Dude, we're bringing this full circle.
Okay.
A few episodes ago, we had that big conversation of when we started watching Hunger Games. You were talking about Katniss being a better character than Harry Potter.
Yes.
This is it. Katniss is Man of Steel Superman. Harry Potter is Superman Returns Superman. He can take all of this trauma and project it into good. And that's what Harry Potter does.
But Katniss just breaks down from it.
Yes.
I like that.
There we go. That's how we explain it.
Did you watch any trailers? I didn't see any.
No, right before this, I even scoured my trailer channel on YouTube, and I was like, I don't want to talk about any of this stuff.
Yeah, it's just no one wants to put their trailer in front of fucking the Marvels or Wish because no one's seeing them, so they might as well just wait.
Yeah.
So on to TV shows. Did you watch anything?
I only watched one episode. I watched one episode of Monarch.
Okay, so
that's the only show I watched this week.
I watched Monarch also. I still have the Chucky on here, but since you didn't watch it, I'm saving it still.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monarch, I also only watched the first episode.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Super good. It gets you watching the first episode. I just wanted to watch the next episode. It really just makes you wanna just watch.
Yeah.
And it's quite a confusing show though. You really got to pay attention because they're jumping around a lot and they don't tell you who's who.
Yeah. I really like that it's... So the only other... Because we're talking about cinematic universes, or we were... This is the only other cinematic universe that's even remotely successful. And I feel like... Only 4 movies, obviously. But this show feels like it's going to really build it out.
Oh, yeah. And give us a history, too.
Yeah. We get to see the after effect of these monster movies that a monster movie doesn't have time to deal with. Like, we get to see these bunkers and these drills and all the signage and the artillery that's put up just in case Godzilla shows up.
Yeah.
I really love that.
It is super cool.
Like, it's just a world building show, you know? And I love the MonsterVerse, so I just want anything that we have, you know, to build it out.
Yeah, and just the fact that, like, the show is just of a particular quality that it's so nice to watch, and they're actually giving us, like, there's, like, actually interesting storylines going on in this show in the first episode that I'm like, I want to know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, the big problem with the MonsterVerse, the movies, is that we never care about the humans.
Yeah.
This show, I already know that some of these characters are fucking awesome, and I'm excited to see where their storylines go.
Yeah.
You know?
And there was a particularly, like, there's, like, a particularly, like, dark, gross death in the first episode. Like, I was just like, dang. I can't believe they did that. That was gnarly.
And there's a couple dark shit going on. Like, I won't talk about it, but the reason the main character has PTSD from the original attack is fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah. There's no way they're going to do that.
They did it.
Yeah.
So, I think that this show has the potential to be, like, super good, and they are spending money on it, like hella money. Like, everything looks on par with the movies.
Yeah, and having, like, a leading man of Kurt. Well, he's not in the first episode, but having Kurt Russell in it, like, he's, at least for me, like, I enjoy having someone I know who can lead a movie or a show.
Yeah.
So, like, I can just, and I like Kurt Russell as I just like him in things.
So. John Goodman was in the first episode.
Yeah.
And he did do, I guess, it's going to be his only scene, I think.
Well,
but it was from when he was on Skull Island, and we just get to see something else that happened.
Yeah. Oh, and those things were nuts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the spiders were in Skull Island, but we never got to see it out of the trees.
Yeah.
When it was out of the trees, it was scary.
Yeah. And then when the crab showed up, I'm like, this spider ain't got no chance.
But yeah, I think. Well, we decided that we're gonna watch the rest of them this week.
This next week's gonna be a special week. Kind of. We'll get to that.
The only other thing I watched was the Squid Games challenge, Squid Game the Challenge, which is the game show that's based on the first season of Squid Game.
Yeah.
5 episodes came out. It's not the whole series.
Are they doing like a half and half?
I think so. It comes out, I think it's like next week, the next 5. I watched the first 4.
Okay.
Because I just couldn't stop watching it. It's a little dramatic. Like, they have ink cartridges on their chest, and when they get eliminated, it explodes like they got shot, and they have to play dead, so they lay down, and some of them will be like, and they'll twitch. I'm like, this is so fucking dramatic.
That is funny.
But I really enjoy it. And like, they do everything. They have to walk all the stairs when they go to the challenges, and they film it. They have all the music. They have the bunk. They eat the 1 meal a day. Like, it's weird.
Are they like making alliances and stuff?
They're making alliances. There are twists in the game where there's like a social aspect where in between the challenges, you might have the potential to gain an advantage or eliminate someone. So you can take out someone that's, physically imposing, that's going to kill these challenges, and just get rid of them.
I don't like that.
See, like, at first I was like, it's not fair, but you have to play the game. You have to make sure you're not one of those people that people are scared of. You know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of twists and turns so far.
Well, a lot of the games aren't even skill based. They're just luck-based, like when they get to the glass platforms.
Yeah, so the first few episodes, it followed the show, and it followed what challenges they did. And this last one, they changed it up.
Yeah, they definitely got ended the same, for sure.
I don't know.
There's no way.
But spoilers for Squid Game, the challenge. They were all making teams thinking that it was tug of war, and it was not tug of war.
What was it?
It was a giant game of Battleship. But you only got eliminated if you
got hit.
If your whole ship got hit or got sunk, and whichever team sunk 2 ships out of the 4 first won.
So you had to choose your ship. So you'd be like, yeah, I could be extra hidden and choose the 2-peg ship, or I could risk it all and get on the 5-peg ship and just. Yep. That's cool.
And one person from each team was chosen as the captain, and they told you where to put your ship, and then they did the shooting. And if they won, they got to stay in the game, but if they lost, they got eliminated. So you could lose. Your team could lose, but if you were on a ship that stayed afloat,
you're good.
You were good. And they lost. There was a lot of beefy men that were a little scary that got killed because of that, because they were all thinking that it was tug of war. They all got on one team, and they all ended up on the same fucking ship.
You didn't get to pick your ship?
Because
I would have totally gone with the 2.
I think, I don't know, they didn't really show. They but even if you did, they still ended up like their team lost. So,
what was it? Was the ship that you were like? So say it was the 5-peg ship. Could only 5 people be on that ship?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. That's fun.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I know that it was getting bad reviews, but I think that's just because it's so dramatic.
Yeah, it's over the top.
It's so over the top, but I love it. And I think a lot of people, like our mother, was like, I thought it was season 2. So I clicked on it and was pissed as hell.
They get angry. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I'm mad. I'm writing a bad review.
I think it's better than the show. That's how much I'm loving it. All right.
I don't know why people have high. There's no way season 2 can do what season 1 did.
Nope. No way. On to the movies. So the first one for the rewind is Willow Creek.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
2013. I thought you said 2015 last week.
Yeah, I knew it was not super old, but it's old enough.
Let me tell you, this is a movie ruined by the ending.
Yeah.
God. Like, this movie was probably, it wasn't like, it's not standout good either.
It's good for a found footage film.
It's good for, this movie's budget was $2,000 probably.
Yeah.
Like, it was nothing. They paid for the camera, and that was it.
And the gas to get there.
Yeah. And, which, kudos to them. Like, the movie is done well.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of decisions that, like, the fact that he's like filming a documentary about him trying to find Bigfoot and stuff, and I like that they just incorporate all the takes, like all the mess ups that he does during his show.
Yeah.
And like, this is a true found footage film where we're just watching. You're literally just watching the clips in order that they were filmed.
Yep.
On the thing. Like, sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, turn it off," and then poof, we're at nighttime. You're like, "What the freak is going on?"
Yeah, I like that.
It was like one of the best part about the movie, but this ending is so bad. Like, the ending's so bad, I took it down like 2.5 points of what I was going to give it.
Yeah, I said that it really catches the awkwardness of filming like your own movie because of all those takes. But I love that too. I thought that there were some pretty funny parts.
She was a way better actress than he is.
Yes.
By a landslide.
Yeah, I have that later too. But when dude was singing the song, his Bigfoot song, and he fucks up and he's like, biffed it or whatever he said.
That was funny.
It was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And we just cut and he's playing again, you know? Yeah. But yeah, it is a good found footage film. It doesn't feel forced because he is making a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And
they have some of their conversations when it's just filming are so realistic.
Yeah.
And it's just like, like they're just having like little bickers as a couple and stuff, and it's just like, dang, this is.
Yeah. So I looked up after all those interviews. They didn't tell them that it was like a movie. They thought those were really doing a documentary.
That's awesome.
Everyone was real, I think, except for the dude that came up to him at the at the statue, and then the one that was at the park when that was told them to get the fuck away.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Half of the movie is them inside of this tent, just listening to things outside.
Ooh, man, that first take is long. It's like 9 minutes long. It's just one. They don't ever cut.
I'm not kidding you. Half of the movie, 90 or 30 minutes of this 80-minute movie, they're in this tent.
Yeah, for one night. For one. Well, they're. Oh no, it is just one night.
Yeah, one night.
Yeah, and the first like when they go to bed in the tent, and then like they wake up in the middle of the night, and this is like the long take. It's like a 9-minute take. It's insane. I have it written down. I was like, this long take is gnarly.
And she is acting her ass off.
And he's just sitting there like this. He ain't doing nothing. They're freaking their noises and stuff. She's reacting. He's just like the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, don't worry. I'm supposed like off camera of this. He's like, don't worry. I'm just frozen in fear.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm a terrible actor. Can't do anything. I know a lot of people say being scared is the easiest, but
it seems hard though.
She goes from like, bro, it's nothing in the woods, to like making me feel like she's about to die over the course of that shot.
Yeah,
and it is impressive.
Yeah, she's very good.
That whole entire sequence is the best part of the movie, and it's very scary.
By far, yeah. It is scary.
I go hiking, and I plan on going backpacking, and I know that if that was happening, and that could have been, like, that could be a bear. It would sound very similar. Mm-hmm. I would lose my shit. I would I don't know what I would do.
Dude, if it's you just gotta be quiet. You gotta hold your motherfucking breath.
Yeah.
As long as you're in the tent, just let him make sure he knows that nothing's in there.
Yeah, you know what else I really love about this that other found footage films don't do is she's fucking reasonable. She's like, why are you fucking filming this?
Yeah,
but he's just a loon because he believes in Bigfoot, and if you believe in Bigfoot, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So he's filming, but she's like, what the fuck is your problem? We need to go. Turn your light off. Let's go. And I really like that because other found footage films are like, why? We're always like, why are they filming? Like even in Cloverfield, he's like, people are gonna want to know.
Yeah. And people, I love the one good thing about that is a good example of that is every time he asks her to hold the camera, she gets so freaking mad.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so
and
funny.
that's how it would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that ending now.
Yeah. So I had to look it up because I was confused. They show a missing persons poster earlier.
Yeah,
and that's supposed to be her.
That's supposed to be her. Even though
her face is something's wrong with it.
I went back and watched it frame to frame, and her face looks like the smile thing, like that fleshy thing with the scar. Smiley. Yeah. Looks. That's what her face looks like.
Oh yeah, because I looked at it and I'm like, something's up with that. I was like, what is that? And then because I would have never put two and two that was the missing woman.
Me neither.
Never.
So yeah, I thought this movie was gonna
be the guy.
I thought it was gonna be dudes.
Yeah, the guy who's like, get out of these parts of the wood. Yeah. That's what I thought the whole time. I thought they were like weird and they were dressing up as Bigfoot.
Yeah,
or doing weird stuff.
But no, we see this naked woman who's supposed to be the woman from the missing poster, and then we hear animal sounds, and my man gets dragged away, and we cut.
Well, so he gets dragged away first.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear beating, like boom, 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 and then growling, and then you hear his girlfriend yelling, help, help, help.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to insinuate that
Bigfoot abduct women and mate with them?
Yes.
That's what
Bigfoot abduct women and mate with them and kill the men.
Yep.
And I was like, that's so stupid. This movie was like a 6.5 to a 7, especially because the tent scene's so good. As like that happened, I said I gave it a 4.
Really?
I was like, that made me so mad.
I still gave it a 7.
Okay.
Because I feel like it really captures that scariness of the wilderness, but the ending is bad.
It's so bad. I do. So we didn't talk about this. The movie opens with the final location, like it opens with the final shot of the movie.
Yeah.
But you don't hear anything though.
Right.
And I like that.
I did
like that. I was like, so that I don't know how they conveyed this well, but at least when I saw it, I was like, that's the final shot of the movie. Did you get that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you just show someone something and I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be the final shot of the movie. I don't know how he conveyed it, but he did it. They do it very well.
Yeah. I do not like the ending, but I like the idea of Bigfoot like abducting women and using them to spawn.
Yeah, I like that idea. I just think that they should have made it more. One, I don't think the missing person poster was very prevalent. Like, I didn't even remember it.
Yeah, me neither.
And then they should have made it more. I should have been able to get that was the lady. Don't F up her face. Make her still human and make her, like, kind of feel bad for what's going on. She just looks like a horrific creature.
We don't know. Why is her face messed up? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
And why is she there? Walking around with the big feet.
Maybe it's like with the big feet. Maybe it's like what's that? Maybe she's been gone so long that she's just like living it now.
Yeah. So afterwards, knowing that like, I mean, I got that right away that they're abducting women.
Yeah, I knew that.
They talk about Bigfoot penises multiple times during this movie, where she's like, when they're eating a Bigfoot burger, and they talk about how that's good. That's what his attribute is, and it's not a big penis because they be eating different food. And then she's standing in front of a Bigfoot statue and she's jerking him off. So like, it's all kind of there, but they don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I saw that the critic score was like an 80 and the audience score was like a 30 though.
Oh dang.
And I was like, right when it ended, I was like, that's fucking why right there. So you said a 4.5?
I just did a 4.
A 4? And I did a 7? I'm okay with like a 5. Because like the ending is bad.
It's so bad. My God. I mean, it disappointed me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But the tent scene, like...
The tent scene is like...
Just watch it up to the tent scene and then just be done.
Yeah, because like that is peak found footage horror film.
That was good stuff right there.
Did your wife watch this?
No.
Mine fell asleep.
Yeah.
All right. Straight on to the series showdown, where we will be talking about Mockingjay Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I want to start by just saying that most of these 2 or even 3-part movies never feel like a movie, like a one movie. You know, like The Hobbit 1 and 2 and 3 don't feel like a movie. They feel like 2 separate movies.
Yeah.
Or 2 separate movies and then like a third movie halfway through the third one. This feels like a movie.
Yeah.
It feels like if you watched it back to back, it's just a 4-hour movie.
I guess. I don't think it's as good as Deathly Hallows as feeling like one movie.
Oh, I see. I feel like Deathly Hallows doesn't feel like one movie.
But it's pretty close. But I drastically like one of these way more than the other one. But there's a few questions I have about the first one.
Okay.
I don't like how Katniss is like freaking out that they left Peeta. She's like, I get it, whatever. But she's smart enough to know why.
And she's not smart enough to know why.
No, she is smart enough to know why.
I'm telling you, in the book, she's dumb. She's like, her and Harry are like the dumbest character in each of those books, and she is dumber than Harry.
Well,
because like you have to think that there's not a lot of educating going on.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about
districts.
But she's so well spoken.
Yeah.
In those moments, so you would just think.
Yeah.
there's such a good moment in Mockingjay Part 2. I didn't write it down, but I'll remember it.
Okay.
When we talk about it. But this one's like, there's something, I feel like there's something special about Mockingjay Part 1. People hate this movie. I think it's the worst one. And it's just, this is the movie that makes us really see the world for what it is. And it also introduces us to a lot of characters that are pretty decent. It's especially good for Philip Seymour Hoffman's Plutarch character.
Yeah.
He's secretly probably like top 2 characters of the whole series.
I mean, he's good.
He's an incredible character.
It's a shame we don't get any payoff because he died
Yeah,
filming these.
Yeah, because that final letter, he's like, I'm sorry I can't make it there because I can't be seen with you.
Right.
Or whatever. But, which is sad. And I know that he, in the final movie, there's a lot of scenes where he's just CG died in the background because he did pass away.
Right.
But, there's something I really like. I just like all the politics and the propaganda of the first one. And I like that we get to see how it's like another moment of, throughout this whole series, you're literally like watching these people who meet Katniss and they're like, who is this girl? Like, she's not what everyone says she is, and blah blah blah. And then they are with her for they know her for like a period of time, and then they get it. And like that's what this whole movie is. Like, people are seeing her, she's a terrible actress for the propaganda thing and whatever, and then they see her for like who she actually is. And like that's what this whole movie is.
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of all these new characters from District 13, and for her cause. And then you have all these people who know her and like, no, she is the one. And then they're like, I don't know.
And what's crazy is that the reason she is the one is because she actually cares and no one else does.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Let me tell you, she really messing with Gail's head. Like, just stay away from Gail at this point.
She doesn't know what she wants.
Yeah. But it is crazy because they go to District 8 to see the hospital. And then she's, this is all horrible, blah, blah, blah. And then they start attacking the hospital. Everyone else is just like, no, just survive, let them do it. And then she does it, and then her shooting the plane crashes and destroys the hospital.
Well, it destroyed a different building, I think.
No.
No?
It destroyed the hospital.
I don't know.
No, it does. It does. And I'm like, dang, this is terrible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just watched this movie this morning, and I just enjoy it so much. There's so much I like. You get the initial, how do I say this? Like, initial hesitation about President Coin. Like, which kudos to Julianne Moore. She plays this part very well.
Yeah.
And this is just like a movie. Everyone's like, oh, but it wasn't like entertaining and exciting and stuff. This is just a movie where it's about character. You're really evolving Katniss into. This is her evolving into the Mockingjay that they want her to be, and then also we're learning about all these new characters and what they really want and all this political. It's just, I really love it.
Yeah. I have on here, like, it's very anti-government, anti-war, but, like, it does that, but not by saying, like, oh, war can't be useful, but the way people go about it isn't necessarily how you should go about it. Like, the cause is there, but should you kill children? Should you double bomb someone when they send in the help? So it's like, it's very, focusing on the propaganda and the brainwash, which is all stuff from World War II.
Yeah.
Like with PETA. It's all very anti-war, anti-government, anti-politics. And the fact that we can't actually do anything about it, Yeah. And I really like that. Like, there's so much depth here. There are some things that I have, though, like, I mean, there's villains on both sides, obviously. And, like, we'll talk about that more for part 2. but those villains on both sides are necessary, and the only person that knows that is Plutarch.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of shaky cam in this again.
Yeah. Well, especially when they're like in the battlefield.
Yeah, I wish that it was her crew doing that, and we got just like a, actual footage, and it wasn't just them filming like a shaky cam.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's one of those weird things that I just like. I wish it was them filming.
You're talking about like when her and Gale go off separately in District 8?
Yeah, I just was one of the people with the cameras followed him, and we got his POV.
Yeah.
But that's just so nitpicky.
There's the PETA moments in this are good because I like how this actually plays well with the fact that people in the lower districts aren't very well educated, because like as a person you can just physically see what they're doing to PETA as a viewer. I mean,
yeah,
and like with like a decent amount of intellect, you could see that he's just being forced to say those things.
Right.
But like her just sitting there watching him, obviously she knows. Because she knows what the Capitol's capable of, but everyone else is like booing him and everything.
Right.
And it makes sense now. And I even, for some reason, that made sense to me when I watched it, just because I'm like, oh, they're not very well educated. But I don't know why I gave Katniss so much credit. It's probably just because of the way she talks.
Yeah. Speaking of PETA, when he warns them about the bombing, the rest of that movie's at 100. And like it's so fucking good when he's like, they're coming right now, they're bombing. I was just chills. I was like, I fucking love it.
Yeah, those are the best moments. I think of the movie.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the movie is the bombing, which is intense and scary, and then it's going to save PETA,
which is super intense,
and then Snow popping up and being the fucking best villain of all time.
Yeah, he's so good.
It's just so good.
And he's just like, oh, Miss Everdeen, I know your friends are at the tribute center, blah, 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 blah. And she starts freaking out. Oh, man, it's good.
And then she's too, like, this is one of those things. She doesn't understand why they would let PETA go. It's because he made him a weapon to kill her. Yeah. And I would have cut this movie right then. Right when.
That's what I was thinking.
I would have cut.
Just in middle of choking her.
Yep.
Don't show Mahershala Ali smacking him.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of it. And then you just start with her. Because part 2 starts with her taking the thing off her neck. God, it'd be great.
Yeah, it would have been like she lost consciousness and then woke up and we were with her.
Yep.
But they had to explain brainwashing to the people that didn't understand.
They could have done it. Just put it in part 2.
It's true.
Just leave us with that. That'd been awesome.
So what did you end up giving this? I'm assuming this is the one you like way more.
Yes. I gave it a... what did I give it? Well, I gave it a 9 because I thought about it and I was like, I enjoyed this movie just as much as Catching Fire, personally. But I can understand going down half a point for it. I don't know what you gave it.
I gave it 8.5.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think people going into it thinking like, oh, we're gonna get another Hunger Games with a lot of action and stuff. Like this is a political drama movie.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it's very boring.
No, not at all.
It's not like the Deathly Hallows Part 1 is very boring. Like you have exciting bits in the beginning and then exciting bits at the end. The middle is very boring.
Yeah, but
and I don't feel
necessary though.
It is necessary. Yeah. I feel like this movie is nowhere near that boring. So I don't know why people are.
And the soft moments of this movie, like her singing and everything, like
what a banger.
They work so well. And then showing like it's so weird. I don't know why it's so effective. Like we watch them film her doing something and then showing the like repercussions or like what them releasing that to the public, what it has done, like when they're marching all towards the dam, singing the song and everything. It's just
good.
Nuts.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll go straight into the second one.
Straight into the second one. Want to know my first note?
Sure.
Katniss be hoeing herself. Because she kisses Gale again. I don't know why. Gale's such a good guy. Man, oh man,
is he though?
No,
he's not PETA good.
This is what happens. He's so good at this moment in the beginning of this movie. And then they just forcibly write him to not do bad things, but do the things that are necessary that we perceive as bad. Even though he didn't really do it. I'm just saying.
I mean, bombing people when they're bringing the medical crew in is bad.
He didn't do that.
But he had the idea.
Yeah, he had the idea. He didn't choose to do it, though. He was just like, hey, this is a good idea.
Well, yeah, but, like, the fact that he even thought about that. Like, he's
just a strategist. Any strategist would think about it.
But he is looking at the Capitol like they're not humans.
Yeah, if he was at the end of the movie, if he was like a victor, and he would have definitely voted yes for the Hunger Game thing.
And, like, we know, because we're with Katniss, that the people in the Capitol just don't know what happens in those districts. Like, they don't know that they're starving. They don't know that they're fucking forced to work 16, 18, 20-hour days.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't believing all this Fed propaganda bullshit, that, like, you know, some of them do come to help Katniss, or they side with the districts. It's not like they're all bad. But Gale doesn't see it like that. So I don't agree with you. I think that he is more of the... Well, he's the soldier that's following orders that doesn't think that he thinks that the enemy is as bad as everyone says.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she just doesn't... I don't think she really knows what she wants.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, at this point in the story, I guess she's unsure if they can even bring PETA back to his normal self.
Right.
But then again, I don't think she deserves Gale at that point either.
Well, PETA's a better catch than Gale.
I know, but I don't think she deserves it.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. So I feel like this is where we get into the trauma of war and the cycle of violence that humans just have. I think that they really show that with PETA and Joanna being saved, and like all of the PTSD that Katniss has from all this stuff. And I feel like it does a good job of portraying those things, you know?
Yeah.
And then this movie just kind of takes off. Like it goes, because it is the second half of a movie, essentially.
Technically, yeah. Second half of a single story, at least.
And she gets a group of people, and they're going to go, she thinks they're going to the front line.
Yeah, they're not.
But they're going to film propaganda films of her in the Capitol. She has this whole plan with Gale to go kill kill Snow, just because of everything that he did.
But then PETA shows up. And because he shows up, they can't separate from the group anymore.
Yeah, because she just can't let him go. And that's what the whole movie is. Them basically moving through the Capitol with these pods and in this battle zone.
Yep. And they just lose people as they go.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And then we get to the sewer scene.
Yeah. Before that, Boggs dies. Before the sewer scene, Boggs dies. I just want to point out, he is a very well written. He's a very well done character.
Yeah, because he knows that coin is bad.
Yeah,
and he knows that Katniss isn't bad. I guess he knows that Katniss means well, and that even if it doesn't matter, she deserves whatever closure it brings to get her revenge. So he's willing to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, we can go to the sewers.
That hit that she fucking takes, I don't know how she lives that.
Yeah. Yeah, because wasn't she like, she gets forced back from the explosion and she like hits her back on a rail and then gets slammed down into the water.
Yeah. My God.
Man, it was bad.
And then this is where Finnick dies.
Tragic death too.
Yeah, and it's very sad.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I was hoping that she would just use an arrow like she did with Kato. I mean, I've seen this movie, but I don't remember this little detail. But it still works the same. But I feel like it would have played better on screen if she would just shot him with an arrow. But also, I guess she had to kill all the mutts.
Yeah.
Too.
I really liked the whole pod thing.
Yeah, it just made things more entertaining. And it also works with Snow's character because he's like, oh yeah, we're getting stormed, but at least my people will have something fun to watch while it's happening.
Yeah. And it really, like I said during the first one, when they're like manipulating the game to make it seem like an action movie, because that's what they're doing. That's what this does. You're never like, this is so stupid, it's just an action movie. Like, no. They're doing it because they're trying to film it and they're making it exciting. Yeah. You know? And some of the pods are gnarly. Like the black goo stuff is gnarly.
Yeah, who knows what the heck that does.
When you touch it, you just...
Yeah, you just get killed by wire.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. I really love... I guess this is before the sewer, right? Or no, it's after. I love when... It's in the sewer. When Gale and PETA are talking, and she's overhearing them. Yeah. And they're like, they know that it's a competition, and they're just like, look, one of us is probably going to die. It don't matter. And if we all live, it's up to her. I fucking love that.
It ain't on our shoulders. We're just living.
I love that.
Do you have any... Do you have any spoilers for the
new one?
Yes.
None. Never read the book. No, almost nothing about it. Okay. Why were you going to say something?
Well, there's a character in this movie that is in the new one. Oh. But I can't talk about it. Okay. Because it's the fact that I know who it is, just because I've been spoiled by it. It made me, it's like, I'm like, dang. Not dang, but like, it wasn't thought out yet. I think it was an idea she had later on, the author. Because stuff would have happened differently. I wrote that this movie really suffers from the lack of Haymitch and Effie in it. At least for me. It really just... I understand why Effie's not with them, but I don't know why Haymitch is not with them. He's always there, and he's such a crucial... Like, I don't know, he's just so important. Even, like, the best part of this movie is the end when he's just talking to Katniss. That's my favorite.
I mean, he's just not a fighter. Yeah. I think it does suffer a little bit just because he's not there, but he bookends it, so like it's fine. Yeah. This movie, the ending of this movie is incredible, though. Like all of that is the action stuff, and it all culminates. I guess we'll talk about it. It culminates in them deciding that they're gonna walk to President Snow's house under the guise of Capitol, Capitol citizens. Yeah. Just Gale and her. Yeah. Everyone else stays with the Tiger Lady, who
Tigress
is in all of the books. She's one of the, like, you get to see more of what the Capitol is about early on in the books, and they try to fit a lot of that in here. They talk about the Voxes, having their tongue cut out, and Tigress. There's a lot of other people that have manipulated their body to look like this, and so Katniss knows Tigress. Like, they've definitely talked before in the books, so it doesn't feel as weird. It feels a little weird in this. Yeah. But they all stay with her, besides Katniss and Gale, and they head towards Snow's house. And that's right when they get there, the rebels attack. And then the bombs drop from the umbrellas that are supposed to... They look like the
capsules from the Hunger Games.
Yeah, what are they called?
I don't know. I thought they were
the
called
favors.
Oh, okay.
So everyone thinks that
it's something to help.
Yeah, they think that Snow is giving them something because these rebels are here and they're just bombs. Mm-hmm. And then the medical crew comes in, and whoever dropped the bombs knew of Gale's plan, and they drop a second wave of bombs, and that kills Prim.
Yeah,
and it's very sad.
I thought I wrote it was ineffective.
Oh,
second time. Ineffective a second time.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
It's still very sad for me.
Yeah,
it's just like, I know what you're saying. Like, there's no emotional, drawn out bullshit, but like that's just how it would be.
Yeah, I know, but like, Prim's just never. We're watching again. She's just not even in the mood. Like
I get you.
I just have nothing for her.
Yeah, I get you. And then we go into the final bits of this movie, which I think are the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where she wakes up from that blast, and they tell her that once Snow dropped bombs on his own people to stop the rebels, that everyone, even the guards and the peacekeepers, laid down their guns, and it just ended the war. And she doesn't necessarily know right now that Snow didn't drop the bombs, but like in the books, she has this weird connection with Snow where she knows what he's doing, and like they're playing this like it's all mind games. And that's when she goes and talks to Snow.
Well, she was also in the room when Gale was explaining the trap.
Yeah.
And she knows it was the same trap.
But like in her mind still, she's like, Snow might have thought of that same thing.
Yeah.
So she goes and talks to President Snow.
Yeah. This is the best part of the movie.
Yeah. And he just basically tells her, like, I got outplayed. We both got outplayed.
Yeah.
And like, that's when you know that this is fucking like I think this is what takes this franchise to another level. You know, for me at least, is like a lesser franchise. It would have been her versus Snow, good versus evil. There's just tons of gray in this franchise, and I don't know. It just really works. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, the way that Snow explains it is just so good for his character, as well as just like, he's like, any real strategist would know that I had already lost. He's like, so why would I bomb? Why would I bomb innocent people?
Why would
He's
I
like,
bomb?
Why would I bomb my people?
Right.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And then he's like, I was worried about you, and you were worried about me, and we should have been worried about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then Coin rounds up all the tributes, the surviving tributes, and they have a vote. And the vote is about having a Hunger Games for the Capitol's kids.
Just Capital kids.
Because that is the least amount of death that they could do instead of executing all these peacekeepers and everything. They're like, let's have a final Hunger Games, but with Capital kids.
I didn't know they said final. I thought they were just going to do that.
No, yeah, so I thought it was like that too, but she says an impromptu Hunger Games so that we don't have to murder all these people, you know? Yeah. It'll satiate the masses, basically. So I think it was supposed to be like a one and done. Mm-hmm. But Katniss realizes then that she's just Snow.
She's kind of worse.
Worse, really. Yeah, really worse than Snow. And everyone votes, just like you would think. Joanna votes for it. Peeta and Annie, who is Finnick's wife,
vote against it.
The
girl with her teeth filed from 2 votes for it.
And Beatty
against it.
And that just leaves Katniss and Haymitch, and they have a thing, a mind thing. And she knows that for her to get her way, she has to agree with Coin.
Yeah, because otherwise she wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
So she votes for it, which leaves Haymitch as the deciding, and he knows that she's gonna do something
Well, they give they look at each other.
They do.
He's just like, I trust her.
Yeah, he's like, I'll go with the girl on fire here, and she basically says, I think she tells Coin
Before that.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill Snow. I'm gonna be the one that executes him, and then she votes for it. So then,
yeah, she waits for Coin to be like, yes, you can.
Yep.
And then she votes yes.
And then at the fucking execution, Snow says something to her, but it doesn't even matter at this point. She's already made up her mind. No. What does he say?
Doesn't say anything. He's just looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's smiling.
Oh, Coin says something. She gives a little speech, and it really pisses Katniss off. I think it's for those people that were like, what is she going to do? I think this is for, like, you know what she's going to do. And she fucking assassinates Coin right there. And then the mob swarms Snow and kills him.
Yeah, beats him to death. Presumably.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a better ending to a movie at all. I don't know. Like a war movie like this. It's so fucking good.
Well, no, so the problem is, I said this movie ends like Lord of the Rings. It just never freaking ends.
There are like 9 endings.
Yeah.
But that is so, like, I love that.
Yeah. And, I'm going to rewind it back to the scene where they're voting.
Okay.
I think it's weird that Peeta doesn't give Katniss a look when she says yes. He's just sitting there all quiet and chill. And it's weird. And I thought Joanna would be like, that's weird, because she also knows Katniss, and Katniss wouldn't do that either. So I thought that they missed a reaction from them there.
I think it was just running long, though.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I do like I don't know. I like the fact that she was trying to take the pill to kill herself, but and Peeta stops her.
Oh yeah.
That's a good moment. And then the second best moment is when Haymitch comes to read her the letter after this. That's the second best moment in the movie, right behind the Snow moment.
Yeah, it's very good.
And then the movie just doesn't end. And then,
well, you gotta see. So she basically gets exiled to District 13.
But she gets pardoned as well.
Or District 12, I mean.
Yeah.
And it's just her and Haymitch. And then Peeta comes later and moves in. And it's all supposed to be very... It's less sad in the movies. It's very sad in the books. Because, like, she has to live with all of that. And, like, she does in this. But we get to see more of it in the books. Like, for the first 5 years of it, she basically doesn't sleep. She just has nightmares of everything that happened. And Peeta finally calms her down. And then they get married and they have these kids. But it's still very sad. Like, Plutarch knew he needed Coin because he needs a villain that's willing to do all this bad stuff during war to take down Snow. And he knew that this is why he didn't go for Peeta. He knew that he needed a hothead like her because she would do what was right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all of these 1%ers and these leaders using people for their gains. And she just got used. And now that they're done with her, she gets thrown away. And everyone will remember her for what she did. But all she gets is trauma and a life of solitude and all of this. And it's very sad.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole reason this all started was to save her sister. And in the end...
She didn't even do that.
Yeah. And the people that were running the rebellion are the ones that killed her. Because it, like, they didn't want it. Like, they didn't specifically kill her. They just killed a bunch of people to end this war, even though it was won already.
Yeah.
Like, it's very fucking sad.
It is super, super sad. It's, yeah, they kind of give... I've never read the books, but they kind of give her, like, a happier ending. Like, she seems relatively happy with her turnout at the end of the movie, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end, she's like, I'll tell you, like, talking to one of her kids, like, I'll tell you about all this one day, but, like, you get through it like I did. You know, it gets easier. In the book, she's like, she still doesn't even know if she loves PETA. In the books, she's like, I don't even know. Like, I know that he's a good man and I need to keep him alive and protect him, but, like, I don't know if he was. And, like, even in the books, they talk about how Gale visits for the first few years and he just stops visiting. Like, it's very sad. But I really love it. I think this is my favorite young adult book series to movie, even more than Harry Potter. Harry Potter falls apart for me when you think about it too deep, and I really do like Harry Potter.
Yeah,
I just think that this is a more sophisticated, well-written story.
It's definitely more sophisticated in like political. It handles politics very, very well.
Yeah, like it dumbs them down enough to where I care and understand.
Yeah,
you know. So what did you end up giving this one?
7.5.
I gave it an 8.5 still. So if we meet in the middle at an 8, every single one was above an 8. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was an 8, 9, 8. 8, 8, 9, 8.5, 8.
Yep.
Yeah, it is good.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the new one.
Yeah.
This week.
And we're gonna flip gears, I feel like, and we're gonna talk about Blue Beetle now.
Whoop, whoop. Let's see what.
Do you want to start? Or actually, I'm gonna start because I have a question.
Go ahead.
I don't know a lot about Blue Beetle. Anything I've ever watched him in, or even the comics I've read, he's always like, it's always in a big group setting, and he's just
Young Justice.
He's in the later seasons of Young Justice, and it is this one. It is this version. So yeah, it's like that Young Justice, where he's like, he is a character, but he's a side character. We don't get origin stories. We don't get Blue Beetle villains. I don't know any of that.
Yeah.
The movie opens with a bunch of beetles of different colors flying through space. Are there other beetles?
It does open like that?
Yeah, during like the title thing, there's like the Blue Beetle goes through a planet and explodes it at one point, and there's other colored beetles.
I didn't really watch the title sequence. It was just on. And I was like, dang, this title sequence is lasting forever.
I was like, I don't know if there are other colored beetles, but like it's very...
Well, I know when they're drilling for it in the orb, the stone ball, I don't know what it was. The dude was like, oh, I hope this isn't another decoy. So those other ones could have been decoys.
Gotcha. So, unspoilery. I mean, I did not love this movie. I did not even like this movie. It is very... I mean, it's directed towards children, I think. And I think that it's directed towards... like a younger crowd, like preteens, early teens. I think that is what this movie was made for.
Yeah, there's some violent stuff in this movie, though.
There are, but like
grotesquely violent.
I mean, kind of. But the MCU has always been geared towards that crowd. They skew a little bit older, you know. I feel like this movie is even pointed towards younger with the humor style that it goes for.
Yeah.
And I do not like that.
There was a few moments in this movie where I laughed. There was probably like 3 moments where I thought was funny. There was one standout, hilarious moment.
I did think some of it was funny. I think like 1 every 8 jokes hits.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of jokes, and there's a lot of childish humor, I feel like, and I just can't stand it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I thought this was funny, that I'm like that blonde girl that he's talking to when he goes to the place, and he's like, no, I'm here to see Jenny. I have an appointment. And he's like, my name's Jaime. And she's like, okay, Jamie.
Yeah.
I thought his name was Jamie Reyes this entire time. When they said Jaime, I was Jaime.
They've been calling him Jaime for like 30 minutes at this point.
No. That's what I'm saying. When this movie started and they were like Jaime, I was like, his name's not Jamie.
Yeah.
I was like, God, I'm such an idiot white boy.
The funny thing is, it's not even spelled the same. Jaime's Jaime and Jamie's Jamie.
No, people spell Jamie the other way.
No, they don't.
Yeah, people spell Jamie.
In the freaking, I watched it with subtitles.
Yeah, Jaime is the way people spell Jamie.
Yeah, but in the subtitles, when she calls him Jamie, they spell it Jamie.
Oh, really?
And then his name's Jaime.
Well, I mean, I just a silly white boy. I don't know. I know that.
I mean, but the
Jose is said Jose and spelled with a J. I just never put two and two together.
The funny thing is, I made that joke because I was watching with our cousin and my wife. I made that joke before that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Jamie.
That's just funny. Did you like this movie?
I definitely liked it more than you and my wife. So that I consider this movie just cookie cutter and generic, essentially. Yeah. I do think the comedy was better than a lot of superhero movies, because I actually enjoyed the comedy part. When George Lopez's character replaces all their cameras with that old Mexican cartoon that's like through the old Spanish cartoon that's through. They show it throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And they go to the security room, and it's just a bunch of white guys sitting there, and they got the one Mexican dude sitting in the back, and the TV comes on, and he just starts laughing. He's like, ah! And he's laughing at the cartoon. I was like, that was so freaking funny.
It's not that funny.
It was so hilarious. My goodness.
So things like that, like me not realizing that his name is Jaime, I understand that is what these diverse movies, like, this is what they're for. It is to educate these people that aren't necessarily, they don't know anything about this culture. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this movie is very heavy-handed, and I think these kinds of movies work better when they're not heavy-handed. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Well, anytime you have a message or you have a movie that you're trying to educate another group of people about another group of people, we'll take like Avatar 2, for example. That movie was an anti-whaling movie, but it is not an anti-whaling movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. That is a subplot. You get the idea, and the rest of the movie plays normal. And I feel like that is more effective than when they're like, no, people did bad things to Mexicans. They're still doing bad things to Mexicans in America. And it's like over and over again, they hammer it in your head. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be preached at while I'm watching, especially a superhero movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's fair.
And when I say they're heavy-handed,
they're real
heavy-handed. Yeah. There's a point where he is talking to his uncle about how hard it is once you get into this country, and how, you have to take any job you want. They're all shit, and you have to work 16, 18 hours a day. And then he's like, maybe it's our time to have a hero. Like, that is in the movie. He says, maybe it's our time to have a hero. And it's like, it's just, you don't have to be right on the nose like that.
Yeah.
So with that and the humor, I was really taken out of it.
There's a few moments in this movie that I liked. We're not doing spoilers yet. I'll do it. I can do this. So if you've ever seen the trailer of Blue Beetle, the beetle like attaches to the back, or like attaches itself to, and they do a little nod to Guillermo del Toro's Kronos movie.
Oh, really?
In this, yeah, you probably missed it, but
I've never seen Kronos.
They were flipping through the channels, and in Kronos, it's a vampire movie from Guillermo del Toro. There's a golden beetle that turns you into a vampire, and it doesn't attach on your back, but it attaches on your heart. And as they're flipping through the channels, you see it's a scene in the thing where he's holding the golden beetle in his hand.
I do like that.
I was like, that was neat. But this movie, Susan Sarandon is not a good villain at all. She cannot play a villain.
No,
it's bad.
She's a bad villain, and she's a bad head villain.
And the guy's just so generic.
Yeah, the movie is very generic. Yeah. I mean, if you looked up what Superhero 101 movie, like, this is what it is. Mm-hmm. And this day and age, you can't do that. Like, a superhero movie cannot just be a superhero movie. It has to be another genre with a superhero. Just, you know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, me and my wife stopped this movie halfway through, and if it was not for this podcast, I would not have finished it. That's how fucking boring it is. Because it's just so generic. I guess we'll score it and go into spoilers. Yeah. What did you give it?
I give it 5.5 because it's just, I said everything's generic about it, but I thought the comedy was like slightly better than the normal comedy that's in a superhero movie. And then there's one key moment in the movie at the end that I thought was like really good for Blue Beetle as a character.
There's a very touching moment at the end.
This isn't that. Oh. but so then I was like, I'll give it a half a point above just straight generic.
So I went the opposite way. So I was like, it's generic. The humor didn't really work for me, and it's so heavy-handed. I gave it a 3.5. Okay. So
maybe like a 4.5.
4.5. Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So anyone that's not going to watch the rest of it because of spoilers for Blue Beetle, next week, our rewind will be Sunshine. We feel like it does work for a fall movie.
Yeah, November just feels like sci-fi.
Yeah.
It just feels sci-fi, so we want to get like a real sci-fi movie in because we haven't watched one yet in a long time at least.
Yeah.
So Sunshine is just like true sci-fi.
And then because we just did the series showdown for the Hunger Games, we're going to finish that off with Songbirds and Snakes, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah.
And because that is a brand new movie and it's still in theaters, it's going to be a twofer. It's going to count for our main movie and our series showdown. So we're only going to watch 2 movies this week.
Yeah, because we're wanting to allot us more time to catch up on all of the TV shows.
Yeah, I think that will... I mean, I'm okay with watching all of Chucky this week.
Yeah, I'm going to get all of Chucky done. This is my short work week. So all of Chucky done. I'm going to finish The Crown. That's my goal is finish The Crown. Catch up on... get up to date on Monarch.
Then we'll do a weekly once we get up. So we'll catch up with Chucky. We'll catch up with Monarch. You can finish your other show.
Other shows? I have a lot of shows to watch, but yeah.
So yeah. So we'll do all that. We'll watch these 2 movies. I think it's still be good.
Yeah.
Because Songbird, I think we're going to talk a lot about The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah, I heard that. Because I mean, I read a thing that said that the 2.5 hour runtime was not even long enough to tell the complex story that it is.
So yeah, we'll do that. So yeah, thank you all for listening. For anyone that's, leaving for the spoilers.
Yeah.
Podcasts, most podcast services on Monday. YouTube on Monday also.
Correct. Yep.
And what was the YouTube channel?
The Reels Podcast.
The Reels Podcast. Nice.
Yep.
And if you do just listen to podcasts, go over to the YouTube channel, throw a like, throw a subscribe. I think it's really going to help.
Yeah, you can even throw if you want to get in contact with us or recommend movies, go to the YouTube and put a comment.
Yeah, the retro, just throw retro movies out there because we struggle every week trying to figure out the retro.
Wherever, movie. If you have a movie you want us to watch and you want like to hear our opinions, do that. And then even new movies, like if you want us to go to, if there are newer movies that you really want us to see right away and you want our opinion on them, you can throw those our way.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll go into spoilers.
Spoilers for Blue Beetle. Woo.
Go ahead.
So I'll just talk about the I guess the moment I like. Let me see what I got here. So there's a moment I liked in this movie. It's when he's fighting the bad guy, and I like that. I like that he loses control and he actually tries to kill him. And then the suit, because he set a predetermined thing in the suit, like, we don't kill people. And it kind of reels him in. But, it really humanized him, because it's like, this guy, or not, he didn't actually kill his dad, but he's lost his dad, and blah, blah, blah. And this guy's just, it just makes sense, because, having that moral not everyone has that moral strength to not get that revenge, especially in this short amount of time.
Right.
Of being angry, you know? Not everyone's Superman and stuff. So that part I was like, oh, that's cool. They don't superhero movies don't do that a lot.
Right.
And I did really like both transformation scenes. I thought they were really well done. Like his initial transformation, it's very horror, like very horrific. And then the like main henchman villain dude, his scene is horrific. I was sitting, I verbally, I was like, oh my God. Because it was just the cords were just waving in and out of his flesh and stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is gnarly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He is a Blue Beetle villain, Carapax.
Oh.
And the suit was pretty comics accurate from what I looked up, a little bit that I looked up.
Carapax's suit?
Mm-hmm. Oh. So that's pretty cool.
His suit did look good. Like, that is a good, like, Blue Beetle's suit was really nice.
We're talking about some of the decent things about Blue Beetle is the suit looks incredible. The fighting is very good.
See, I thought it was just generic. I didn't...
it's not very good. It's good. But, like, his power set lends itself so well that I think I liked it.
Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm excited that he is still he's going to be part of the new DCU, because I think, like, in a team movie, he'll have really cool battle moments and stuff.
Yeah, I think that... I was going to say that. I should have said that before, but I don't think that he should have had his own movie. I think he should have popped up in a team movie, and we got background bits here and there throughout different team movies. Kind of like what the Hulk happened after they rebooted it with Avengers, you know?
Yeah.
Because his power set is just cinematic. It just works. He's like a mix between Iron Man and Green Lantern, where it's like, it's technology, but it's whatever I want.
Yeah.
And that does work.
And it also just auto protects him. Like, even if he can't think of anything, it just does it for him.
Yeah. So, like, his power set is very cool. What was I going to say? There was a really good joke, but I cannot remember what it was. I should have wrote it down.
Yeah,
I thought
there was a few. I didn't put it in down. I didn't write it down.
Well, we'll just keep going. At the very end, when they all got together, and the grandma was like, "Now we can cry," and like mourn the father. I felt like that was pretty touching.
Yeah,
like it was the one thing that did something, made me feel something throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, the grandma was a good character. George Lopez was a memorable character, but that was it. All the other people in his family, doesn't have to. I forgot my freaking Mockingjay Part 2 thing I was going to talk about.
Oh, what was it?
There's the scene where President Snow's giving a speech, and then President Coin interrupts him, and then she says, President Snow said blah blah blah, and then he corrects her.
Oh yeah,
it's a key moment about his character that's so important.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
There were some of the other, like some of the silly things that really took me out. What was it called? The Bug Mobile, the Bug Plane.
Oh, I didn't pay that much attention.
When they were like,
it looked cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. They were like, let's do the bug fart, and it's just, it's shooting gas out. That's like doing something to the henchman, but it sounds like it's farting.
Yeah, I like that one.
Unnecessary. No, fart jokes are silly. Like, that is for children.
Huh? But they're funny.
When he was dying, and he had that vision of his father, do you remember?
Yeah, it was weird. I don't like it.
And then when he was like, go back, and the suit was like floating off in space, and he jumped out there, and they did the finger touch thing.
Yeah. You talking about like the painting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even. It was
that part was weird. Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
So that really took me out of it. And then,
but I think that was like him completing the symbiosis.
Yeah.
That's what it was supposed to be. But yeah.
It just doesn't work. And then the last thing was the get over here, which was like it's supposed to be like a Mortal Kombat thing.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, he fucking flings a thing and says, "Get over here," and pulls him.
Oh, I don't remember it.
Oh, God. I just don't like that kind of things.
Yeah. There's not stuff... there's not a lot of memorable things in the movie, to be honest with you.
No. No, I wouldn't have finished this movie. But yeah, there's not really a lot to spoil either because it's so generic.
It's so generic. Yeah. You're going to watch the first 15 minutes of the movie just because it takes that long to introduce some characters and then know what the rest of the movie's about.
You'll know exactly what's going on. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, next week we'll do Sunshine and a songbird or a ballad for songbirds and snakes. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to catch up on television.
Yeah, especially primarily Chucky and Monarch.
Right.
If we're watching anything else, we'll do that.
But yeah, so thanks for listening. Like I said, podcast services on Monday, YouTube on Monday.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
That's a wrap.